okay for the moment. I don't think anyone will be smelling me for the rest of the night. So,
Wife's not home. You know what that means.
wife's not home, girlfriend's not home. Got it all sorted, mate.
Fucking time to myself, mate.
All right,
So cry myself to sleep again. Are we on? Oh,
jeez. And we are back. So thank you so much for tuning in. It looks like we're having a little bit of a lag on the video, but that's okay. The audio is recording just fine, so even if the video messes up, I'm just going to post this as an audio-only version.
Perfect.
So,
sorry. That is feedback. Let's call it feedback.
Is it going fine on the?
We're on. We're
okay. It's not like stuck.
No.
Okay, perfect. No, it's stuck on mine, but that's fine as long as it's working.
It's working
in real life. All right. So we left off last time talking about childhood. So we're gonna start from there. Let's talk about childhood experiences. How did you grow up and where?
Oh boy. All right. I came to Canada at I don't remember what the age was. I think it was around 10 years old. But grade 3 is where I came here. Before that, traveling a lot. I was born in Pakistan, moved to Dubai for most of it. So I didn't live in Pakistan as much. What about you?
So I was born here. I've got one of those boring, well, maybe not so boring stories, but I was born here. However, I was adopted.
Okay.
So I was born in Brampton, and then in this case, my mom, because of whatever was going on in her life at the time, she couldn't support me at the moment. So she decided rather than, take any other kind of drastic measures, she would give me up for adoption. So I was adopted by a nice Christian family, and I had a nice childhood, but very much just a Canadian experience.
Okay.
So
That's not a boring story whatsoever. That disclosure was misleading.
Well, I didn't. It wasn't like a foreign country. I didn't have a duck. I didn't have.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think one of the earliest memories when we started retaining those memories is from Canada onwards. So I was here pretty much throughout. High school, I stepped out. I left the country. I did 2 years of high school in England, Manchester.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
My dad was a businessman. He owned quite a few businesses. Around that time, though, he wanted to get into retirement or start preparing for it. So
yeah,
I was 18. I was not 18 at that point, so I had to go everywhere he went. So we went 2 years in England, closed up the business there. Then he went back. We went back to Pakistan, where I did 2 years of the last years of high school. Then I turned 18. And I was like, fuck this, mate.
Get me a fucking manager. Get me out
Getting out of here, mate. So one random day, towards the end of the high school, I got my grades. I got everything I needed. I asked for my dad's credit card. I was like, okay, I'm going to start applying.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, so I applied.
Daddy's credit card.
That's it, mate. I started applying. I got into quite a few universities. Ryerson and York were my main two thing.
Yeah.
I went with York, came back here in 18. My brother came with me, but he lived by himself. I lived on campus. Mm-hmm. Then my parents were like, fuck this, man. there were empty nesters who didn't know how to be an empty nester.
Yeah. So, they missed you guys?
So they just came as well, and then now we're here planning to stay.
So
let's see how that goes.
So you said you have a brother or multiple brothers?
A brother, older, one sister, older.
Okay.
Had an eldest brother who didn't quite make it at birth.
Oh.
And then, so I'm the youngest, which a lot of people, the funny thing is whenever you tell somebody where you are in the family's tree, they're like, aha, I knew it. So I can't ever do that. I can't ever tell who's the eldest, who's the youngest. Like apparently there's some traits of ours that are very prominent, but whatever. Tangent.
So did your older siblings used to bully you when you were growing up?
That's the thing. Older brothers will always be at an arm's length because we reach an age where they're teenagers or they're doing things, and then I want to tag along and I'm like, take me with you, and they're like, no, fuck off, I'm gonna go you're embarrassing me. He's 6 years older than me, so we had quite a bit of different
age gap.
Yeah. Whereas my sister was 3 years older than me, so she was pretty much with me. We were in the same school, so she'd always be a senior. I'd be like starting the school. Yeah. So we were close, and now it's kind of the opposite way. My sister moved out, got married. My brother and I still kind of like staying. We're closer.
Yeah.
Although with my sister, it's a different kind of bond as well. So I always think an elder sister is important. So
Yeah. Who was harder on you as a kid?
My brother was uninvolved because he would just do his own thing,
Yeah.
and he was the eldest, so he got everything he could ask for. My
The
sister
prince.
was older than it was harder on me because she would basically monitor me around. She'd be in the same school, be like,
Aww.
"So I talking to that girl, then I started talking to another girl. What's going on?" But now it's pretty cool because once you reach a certain age, I think once you've hit past your teenage years, all your relationship with your siblings kind of become the same because you can talk about it. You know, it's all out in the open. You've had your fair share of ups and downs, so it just becomes very neutral. Now we're all in the same level. I don't think I hold anyone to that older sibling kind of relationship. So not as exciting, but traveling helps. What about you?
So I only found out very recently that I had a sibling because I just found my mom about 10 or so years ago, maybe a little bit less. So I do have a half sister, different father, but I love her like she's my own sister. I wish we could have grown up together because I wish we had that bond, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still love her. I love my niece. I'm an uncle.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that's the closest I've gotten at the moment to having a kid of my own. But so of course there's days when, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the cutest thing ever. I want a kid. And then there's days where I'm like, I'm never having a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, forget it.
It depends on what phase you see them in.
Yeah.
Like when they're in the happy phase. See, the thing is when you have a niece or nephew or anything like that, you play with a kid, and then a couple hours, you're like, okay, here's your child back.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what it should be. It's like while you're raising the kid, you should be able to give it back at some point. Like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. I'm turning it in at the end of the day like a library book. You know, I've read it. I'll take it back out tomorrow.
So it's horrible, but if I don't cut the umbilical cord, may I exchange it or get?
What is your refund policy here? Like, is there?
No, but I think. So I've never actually been the kind of uncle who's been involved too much in the hard part of parenting, like diaper changes, that kind of thing. I've done a couple in my time, but not anything dramatic where I would be like, oh, I'll just take over and try to put the kid to sleep when they're having a tantrum.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that part. I've only seen the glamour.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like the fun parts, the teaching the kid something. I have 2 nephews of my own, and then I have niece and nephews from my wife's side. But with my own, I taught them how to play sports. So trying to teach the boy how to throw is the funniest thing. Because he swings it so hard back that the ball just goes behind him. So
it's like when you're playing with dogs and you're trying to like catch the ball and then it just disappears from your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go?
And kids are like drunk adults. Like it's so much fun.
So I was just thinking about this maybe last year. I was just like I was talking to my friend and I'm like, why do kids fall the fuck over so much? Like they're literally, and like 5-year-old kids too. Like not like 1 or 2. No, like I understand you're learning how to walk.
Any
like,
center of gravity.
Yeah, it's like you've had like even when you're 7, 6, you've had like 5 or 4 solid years worth of walking experience.
Yeah.
It's like and then you just like.
But I can't comment. I shouldn't be the one saying this because when I was a kid, I used to fall over a lot, and like it was weird because when I was 5, 6, 7. I used to have a pretty good sense of balance, but every now and then I just tip over.
Vertigo.
Yeah, literally, just like what was happening. He was just standing straight a minute ago, and now he's on the floor.
Now I'm facing the floor.
Especially when you're trying to run really fast.
Got road rash.
And then when I was 12, 13, I went through a really big growth spurt. So all of a sudden I'm just like.
So you were like the 6-foot person when everyone's still like 5'2".
Yeah, I was like. Otherwise I was like 4 feet, 3.5 feet, 4 feet, and then all of a sudden I shoot to like 5.5, almost edging at 6. And at that point my feet grew so many sizes over.
I'm like, I already like this story.
This is really embarrassing. I was in gym class and I was on a treadmill and I could not control these 2 large feet attached to my legs. So in a class full of students, teenagers, almost preteens, with of course the girl I had a crush on, I fell in a treadmill, shot backwards.
Now, was it like a comic where you go through the wall, or
it was one of those things where you try to catch yourself but you keep falling, so you're like bouncing off and you try to get up, and then it's just the end result was I fell and hit the treadmill 3 times until it pushed me right out of the thing. At which point the little you have a pin attached to it, so it gets pulled, a little sound goes on, it just stops,
As if everybody wasn't already looking in your direction.
That is one of the most embarrassing memories I have about losing control. The other thing is when I used to play basketball, again, around this time when a growth spurt happened, it would take me a while to fall down.
Yeah. So you'd go through the
where I could kind of catch myself,
pinwheeling,
but not really. So I got the ball from. I used to play. My main role in any basketball team was rebound.
Yeah,
because I was that tall guy who could just jump up and catch the ball.
Yeah.
So but I was like, you know what? One day, fuck this. I want to be the star. So I catch the rebound. I'm trying to drive it all the way forward.
Yeah.
At that point, I just start tumbling over. So I'm still dribbling, and my arms are flailing, and
it's like one of those slow things where I was like, no.
Yeah, literally. And people they just stop running after me. They're just laughing because I half court. I made it half the court through, and then I was finally on the ground. So
did it make the little noise?
Oh yeah, there was like burn marks on the gym floor. So,
man. So I
get those kids.
See, now that I can understand. Like if it's a growth spurt related issue, it's fine. And I don't really have any any embarrassing from my childhood and stuff. Yeah, I know. Most of my embarrassing stuff happened as an adult, which is probably worse. But no, nothing like I'm trying to think. So I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. So I'll see if I can write some stuff down, and maybe we'll come back to that.
Any point where you can come back to your childhood stories, because that would be
fantastic.
That would be great content.
So that reminds me, there was something that we touched on in the last podcast that Syed probably thought he was going to get away with, but running into traffic. Let's hear the running into traffic story.
I was a kid. I was literally around.
This was last year.
2 years. I was 2 years or younger.
Yeah.
And my mom and brother and sister went to the grocery store.
Okay.
I was too young. They didn't want to take me. They're like, "Fuck you, you're annoying."
So they let me behind. The doors open, windows open.
Well, my dad was the one watching me, but we went to go take a nap because he's like, "You're old and smart enough. Just fucking sit in this playpen."
Little did he know.
Yeah, I got out. We had a maid. It was a third world country, of course. Anyway, so and the maid was busy, so I was like, okay, perfect. She left the door open. I snuck out in a tricycle.
Oh,
and I left the house, and I was actually going towards the grocery store. So literally, my mom found me on the highway.
Oh my!
Like I was the only, I was a kid in a tricycle pedaling in oncoming traffic.
And the way so I don't know if it's the same in Pakistan, but I've seen the videos of how people drive in India. Yeah, and there's no the traffic signals mean nothing, signs mean nothing. Yeah. People are just
Luckily for me, I was away from the city. It was a suburb, so it was relatively emptier. But still, one of my neighbors caught my mom. He was going to the grocery store, so he got there. And he's like,
"I see Syed on the road in the tricycle. What are you doing?"
And he's like, "Sister," because they call each other like that kind of relationship. So they're like, "Sister, I think I just saw your child." And mom's like, bullshit. His father's home. Son. His father's home. A son of mine would never do such a stupid thing. But on the way back,
little did she know this is like preparation for
it's foreshadowing
30 years worth of future.
It's a story my mom would still go over today happily if you ever met her. But
oh man,
she saw me on my way. She stopped the car in mid traffic and be like, "That is my fucking son."
Oh my goodness!
And tumbling over almost because I was a kid.
Yeah. So what happened? Did she run out of the car? Scoop you up? And
took the trike in the trunk. And
that's so cute. Well, so at least at whatever age you were at, you were smart enough to know this is the way to the grocery store. At least
I'm pretty sure I was going. If my mom didn't catch me, I would have just kept going way past the grocery store.
Oh man!
But so
I don't know what's next to Pakistan, but we picked them up at the border, trying to cross
India.
No passport.
This child is a spy.
Your trike wheels are worn down to the spokes.
If I actually had made it to Afghanistan, which is a neighboring country, I would have never been able to come to Canada.
That your childhood would have gone a whole lot differently.
This story would not be as funny as it is now.
Oh, that's good. I'm so glad I came back to that.
I have way too many stories like that in my childhood.
Oh man, we're gonna have lots of content.
Not neglected, but again, like my parents already had 2 kids who were old enough, and they're just like, you know what, whatever.
We'll leave this one to his own devices. He'll figure
and they're
it
like,
out.
we already screwed up the first 2.
This one can't get any worse.
So we might as well just not parent.
Raise
a lot. At that point, Sega.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that was out. Yes. And I feel like that is a huge breakthrough for parents, even though a lot of them are like, no TV, no this, no that. But as soon as the TV turns on and a gaming console or a pad or an iPad or anything's on your hand, the kid is just silent.
Yeah.
And
and that's the thing. They're like, no TV until, they need you to go to their room and have cuddle time. They're like, TV. Here, games, movies, whatever you want to do here.
That is something the wife and I talk about. We're like, okay, we're going to be one of those parents. We're like, okay, no smartphone games, no iPad or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I can imagine literally a week into it, the kid's not even old enough to hold his own head up. We're like, here's an iPad. Shut the fuck up.
Just rest your head on the screen. You'll figure it out.
And now my nephew, it's so funny. My youngest nephew and my elderly parents. So the nephew takes the remote, does I don't know what and how with it.
Yeah.
But my parents just struggle with it for like 2 days trying to get that back to the channel they're watching, and the way that they're watching it just flips the colors, whatever. So it's
ruined.
It's almost funny. And I feel like that's gonna be a huge barrier. Like when I leave my child for babysitting with my elderly parents, they're. By the time I come home, my parents have learned so much, and the child is just frustrated.
They're going to be calling your parents,
Dada. They're like, I have learned how to synchronize my contacts, and I'm like, that's great, Dad. Stop texting me now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's interesting to see how parenting has progressed after the onset of technology.
Yeah.
And whereas when I grew up, it was very much shove your kid outdoors, and let them go and play with their friends and stuff like that. Now it's very much, and that's something that I really need to give my dad a lot of credit for, because he, even though technology was starting to come out at the time, he was, he was very much, you go outside. Once you've been outside for a couple of hours, then you can come in, you can play for an hour,
right,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
So he limited my TV time, limited my games. He forced me to do a lot of reading, which is one of the big reasons why I feel like I'm as articulate as I am today. So I have to thank him for that. But yeah, and that's the way that I feel that it should be, and that's what I want to be as a parent as well. Is that I don't like, there are times when you're gonna prop your kid in front of the TV because you got stuff to do. But I mean, I don't want that to be
the
majority. Yeah, the majority of their childhood. Like, I want them to go out and experience stuff and hang out with their friends. I don't want them to be texting their friends. I want them to see and speak to another human being.
Yeah.
Have human interactions so that they don't become like us. Nerds with poor social skills.
And that's something, actually, one of the best memories of my childhood is I used to just go out of my house, and literally right in front of my neighbor had a basketball net in front of his thing. And we just used to take shots. We didn't play basketball so much as we talked, but it was just, and we would be playing basketball. Then there'd be a couple other kids who are a little bit older on their bicycles. There'd be like girls out in rollerblades. So it was
blades.
Yeah, that was fun. Although one time my dad tried to teach me how to ride a bike, and his intention was his heart was in the right place. Yeah. But so he thought to himself. So he was trying to help me ride a bicycle. I had great experience with tricycles, obviously.
Yeah.
He took me, and for some reason he thought it'd be best for me to help me learn in a place with gravel.
Oh.
Because I don't know why. He just thought that.
So that's where the scar came from.
Yeah, he's like, grass stains or whatever. I don't know. I do not know what his logic was. So he took me to okay, this is like dirt. If you fall, it's sandy. Yeah. You're not going to hurt yourself. It was rocks. Yeah. Underneath that
jagged rocks.
Just pebbles. Sharp AF pebbles.
Shards.
Straight from a construction yard.
Like you could see the truck backing up and dumping a fresh pile.
I fell, and in order to avoid grass stains, ironically, I shredded my jeans with blood on them. So
yeah, there was no grass stains. You got the lesser of two evils.
He got what he wanted. No grass stains, but then no jeans either.
So we avoided the grass stains, but I have no pants. Also, I need a skin graft.
And
but
limping back home. Oh my god, my wife and my dad, my mom and my dad. Sorry, they just fought so hard.
I was like, my goodness, did you have your? Is that custom to have a wife at that? I mean, I know it's
married at childhood. which is not new to my culture. But
well, speaking of, I think that's a good segue into our next topic, which is young love. So I think we all remember, our first girlfriend or quote unquote girlfriend, like what we call a girlfriend at that age. So what was it like for you? And then I'll let you know what it was like over here in Canada.
Okay, so obviously I wasn't popular with the ladies when I was a kid, obviously.
With all, what do you mean with all the shredding your stuff on gravel? And,
with the ripped jeans, which is now in fashion. Back then it wasn't.
See, you were just ahead of your time.
That's what it was. That's the whole issue. Well, I thought they had cooties.
Oh yeah. So, hey man, circle, dot, still strong.
Actually, I have a scar on my eyebrow. I don't know if you can see it, but
I cannot.
I was playing tag, and I was running.
Yeah.
And I was trying to run away from the person who was tagging, so I started
that's
running.
how the game works.
Right? So anyway, right in front of me, a little Asian girl in my class playing the same game with me. So she's running and I'm running, and we're running at each other.
Oh.
I trip again because center of gravity is not not one of the things I mastered at that point.
Was there gravel?
It was. However,
this gravel truck is just following you all around,
dumping it in my way. As they knows I'm gonna fall, just dump it. It's only a matter of time.
I feel like your dad just sees the gravel coming up. Like, hello, he's out playing today. Yes,
at least no grass stain. So it gets worse. She's running. I trip, but I smack my head in her face.
Oh, so it's like a head-to-head collision.
Her tooth went in my eyebrow.
Ooh,
she had a loose tooth. It got jammed in my eyebrow.
Like it got stuck.
It got stuck. It came out of her mouth. It got stuck in my eyebrow.
Oh, I feel like she got the better end of that deal.
She did. She did because now the tooth fairy.
She gets $1 from the tooth fairy. You get stitches.
That's exactly what. And my face is bleeding. I can't see it. It's just in my eye.
Yeah.
Which I just think that it's just nighttime now.
Yeah. Time to sleep.
Okay, good night.
Also, I feel very lightheaded.
I may not wake up. But I just see her bleeding from the face, and then I had a crush on her, and I'm like, oh my god.
This is how
Are
it
you
happens.
okay? I am so sorry. How could I do this? She's like, and she's looking at
This
me,
is fate.
and she's looking at me, and she's feeling so much worse. There's a tooth lodged in my head, and it's a disgusting sight. I realized that in retrospect. So yeah, and then next thing I know, I'm getting stitches, and it was just the whole thing. But
let's gloss over the whole. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah,
girls were watching.
Which ironically, when I went to the walk-in clinic, they stitched me up right away.
Yeah.
However, they stitched me up right away. They didn't clean it.
Yeah.
So
did they leave the tooth
while,
in?
No, they took the tooth out.
Okay.
And the nurse freaked out. Whatever. It was here in Canada too. So don't blame Pakistan.
So, wait,
it was
you're telling me that you went to get stitches and the nurse. Yeah,
or like I don't know who it was.
out.
It wasn't a hospital. It was a walk-in clinic. I remember that specifically.
Okay.
So it was a doctor or whatever. But she freaked out, and because I was bleeding, and I didn't realize it until I saw my face in the mirror, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm dying."
This is how it happens.
So then she stitched me right up, and then she didn't clean it. So then my whole eyebrow started to swell. And to a point where I couldn't open my eye. Then I had to go to a hospital,
a real hospital,
hospital, Credit Valley. Actually, best time ever in Credit Valley because I was there for like about 3 days. So they had to open stitches, put me on antibiotics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I saw Jumanji. The first one. I played N64 for the first time. So that the hospital had a little kids room and it had like the best N64 games ever. So I don't remember the stitching or anything, but I just remember how fun that game's room was.
Well, that's crazy. My story is nowhere near that exciting. That is like getting a tooth lodged in your face for love, man. Like that's taking one for the team.
The things we do.
Yeah, man. Like you talk about a gentleman. This guy right here.
Right here, ma'am.
He got stitches for love. Okay?
I will hang on to
this man will get stabbed for you. So
I then took that tooth, framed it.
Unfortunately, he is married with a baby on the way. But if anyone out there has a time machine, the chances are
you can get your tooth lodged in my face.
You may have a chance to change history. So, other than that, so my first quote unquote girlfriend was this girl that I had a crush on since kindergarten.
Okay.
So from kindergarten all the way until grade 4, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
You started young.
Yeah, I did. And you know, like it's that awkward thing of like, you know, you just see someone you like, and you know that's really it. You don't know what love means. You don't know what liking even means. But it's like, you're my girlfriend now. We're gonna hold hands. But
that's all you know. That girlfriend.
That's what it was. So, her name was Beverly. And she is on my Facebook, so there is a chance that she may
if you're
potentially.
Watching Beverly.
Yeah, if you're listening, you probably remember this. But yeah, so we used to like hang out at recess, and I used to share my snacks with her because I would always have those craft snack packs, the handy snacks with the cheese and crackers with the little red spreading stick. So that was like, you know, that was like cigarettes in prison, man. Like that that was currency out at recess. Kids were dealing that. Like, yo, I'll trade you 3 handy snacks for a fruit roll up. Like, so that was the shit back then. So that was how our relationship, quote unquote, was. But I remember how we, quote unquote, broke up was we were playing some kind of a game, some little kids game, like maybe it was tag or something. Okay. And I hurt her in some way, like I tripped her by accident, or I bumped her down. Men. And she was like, ow, like you hurt me, like you say sorry and whatever. And like me being the fucking asshole shit kid I was, like I don't know what it was. I had like a massive like ego or whatever, like pride thing when I was a kid. I'm like, I'm not saying sorry, whatever. Like that's the game. Like you fell, tough you down. Yeah. So it's crazy. I don't know what was going through my head at that time, but yeah, she's like, fine, I'm not your girlfriend. Ooh. And it was just like, oh. Like, you know, like my
first heartbreak,
my childhood heart.
Your innocent little heart.
Yeah, like my first like real heartbreak, and then like it was never the same because like we stayed friends, obviously, like because you know we were little kids. But I always had a crush on her through middle school.
That's really cool.
Wow. Yeah, so that's how it happened for me, and then that was my earliest experience with quote unquote love, as they say, you know. But so something I've always wondered. So I guess I'll just ask you. I mean, I know your wife might listen to this at some point. So without getting into too much detail, I've always wondered. So when you met your wife, who's now your wife, did you know, like, when you met her that
this would be it? Not
necessarily that, you know, this is going to be the person I marry, but, like, was there something different right away that you didn't feel with anybody else?
That's a great question, actually. When I met my wife, this was first year of university. We were in the same school since grade 3.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
We were in the same middle school and everything, so that's how we connected initially. We became friends. She hated my guts. And I was just like, okay, well, she has so many problems with me because I smoke and all this and that, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna.
Mrs. Syed, just a side note. I'm trying to get him to quit, but.
But before I met her, I went through a series of different relationships. None that were obviously good. For me or otherwise. So I met a lot of like difficult people. Yeah. And I'm using, the nicest word I can, but they were psychotic.
So for any of his ex-girlfriends listening,
you know what you did.
And he's happier without you.
But, it was a variety of different types. So like, those, because I used to be in this phase where I started to go out and party a lot. So I had those who were out and partying. I had those who were like very studious. Yeah. So I dated quite a few different girls, but it didn't really click because all of them, at one point, we had such a strong disagreement that it just kind of, the whole relationship fell apart. Yeah. But when I met my wife, a girlfriend at the time, or just a friend at that time, we started talking about our schooling lives from grade 3 onwards, the people we knew, how they turned up now. And then the first night we talked, actually it was on Facebook, one of my exes put a picture of me and her up. And then that's when she really said, aren't you the guy from Thomas Street? I was like, yeah, that's me. And then we started talking, and MSN was a thing. We talked from like 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh, that's always that night. I swear that's always how it happens. Those late night conversations, man, they'll snatch you up.
That's right. Ooh. And you don't forget things like that because it's like 12 hours.
But anyone that I've had a conversation past 4 a.m. with has ended up as a girlfriend.
Yeah, because you share so much intimate details. And then we were just talking about how people turned out, who we're in touch with. So that conversation led all the way till early morning. And then the next few weeks, we kept talking, and I was like, okay, this chick is really cool. Like, she's normal, first of all, which is huge.
Yeah, this is already unlike any other girl I've been with.
Literally, like, I have not seen any flags yet, which is huge. We have the same interest. I saw a couple of TV shows from England, like Goodness Gracious Me and all that, and she knew them, and kind of like how you and I connected over Monty Python.
Yeah. Oh man.
We connected over shows that nobody else has seen, so it was like, okay, the music we grew up to.
Yeah.
And then we just kept talking, and then within I think 2 weeks, I told her I loved her.
Oh.
And she didn't believe it. She's like, okay, that's fucking bullshit. I know you've been through a series of relationships. You're just one of those guys.
Yeah. Okay. So just for context, how old were you at the time?
Probably 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was like, you know what? This is love. I love you.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't think you know what that means quite yet, because you can barely attend classes on time.
Your life is a mess.
You sleep through all your entire exam, which I did. So, and then I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is it. So I spent a month chasing after her, and she's like, you're just full of shit. But I was like, no, for real. And then, at this point, a lot of controversies came up. My exes started to freak out, and they're like, oh no, we're still in a relationship, this and that. So
yeah. Oh my God.
Like, a lot of shit happened.
That's the worst.
And then right off the bat, after that, we still came out fine. I was like, wow, this is pretty much as bad as a fight at this age, at my point in life. It'll get.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse than an ex bringing up dark shit.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
So, and she's still around. So I was like, okay. And like, that just, and we had a bet. So she's like, you're so full of shit. I'll date you.
Yeah.
I won't give you more than a week and a half. A month at best. I bet you anything we break up after a month. I was like, done. Let's go.
Wow.
We dated.
She knew. She put a timetable.
She's like, you're not gonna,
date.
she's like, you're not one of those guys to fall in love. You're not gonna last. You're gonna like flip out and do something stupid. So I'll just give you a month. And
wow.
I was like, okay. And then that led to 7 years of dating. So I showed her.
Well, considering she's pregnant, I'm pretty
not
sure
just that. I put a ring on it.
You got the last laugh there. I think she's stuck for life at this point. So.
But yeah. So. And it just naturally fell through, and then we just kept going and going, and next thing you know, it's our 1 year anniversary, and we're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I guess I lost the bet.
Yeah. And actually, so the funny thing is, after 5 years of dating, every time we had an anniversary, it would be awkward, because we're like, okay, it's been 6 years of dating now.
So
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because it's always like, oh, after I graduate, I'll think about getting married, blah blah. So we thought about marriage way early on. That's just because from like how we think.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know what, this is it. I saved myself for you. That's it. Like, I'm gonna marry you. You're the one.
Yeah.
I knew it before she did. So,
I think that's usually how it happens. I mean, I don't want to generalize, but I do feel that guys, usually tend to know.
And we latch on.
Yeah. And then, but it's that we latch on when we find someone that we feel, has all those qualities.
Yeah. She had a really absurd checklist, which was like a realistic checklist, which is like, the guy needs to be tall. Right? Like, it's like little things that you can...
that's like the default Tinder profile. 6 feet, swipe right.
Yeah. And like, where I'm from, there's a lot of dark skins and light skins. She's like, tall, light skin, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? A couple of traits and that's it. So...
Wife's a racist.
No,
I'm sure she's a lovely individual.
I had the weirdest checklist ever. I was like, should be funny. Should be able to get my jokes and make similar jokes. Like, it was just... a criteria that not many women would have fit into, and everyone I've met ever since then, there's no connection like that. So I think that was the biggest indicator. I was like, okay, that's it. And then so
I feel like that's how it is. Like, women have this long, like, okay, they have to be tall, they have to have a good job, they have to have their life together, they have to, and it's like, it's all realistic things, but like, because they've got like 50 things, and then guys, it's like they have to laugh at my jokes, they have to be nice to me, and they have to have boobies. And that's pretty much it. But
the requirements are 2 boobs.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you can skirt by with 1 if you have a big ass, but other than that, no. But these are just my beliefs, not Syed's. Mrs. Syed. This is not his.
I am just very curious at this point. But no, like, I don't think we have, like, when I was dating, I didn't know what the hell I wanted. I really didn't. Yeah. And I had to go through a couple of relationships to be like, what I found attractive at first was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's so cool. She hangs out and does all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I was like, oh, she's doing that with every other guy.
Yeah.
Too. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you want. You don't know what you want.
So so this is what they say. They always say that, like, guys want a girl with all of the experience, like with all of the knowledge and stuff, but none of the work experience. Like, if you get what I mean. Like, they want a girl who knows what they're doing in all these departments, but they don't want a girl who's been with all the guys that they need to get that experience. So it's one of those catch-22s. But I feel like myself, I haven't gotten to that point yet, and where, like, I feel that kind of thing where it's like, and maybe I won't, because, like, everyone's different, of course. Like, some people might never feel that spark of like, oh, this is the one. But like congratulations to you. Like, it's amazing that turned out the way it did. And that's like a really touching story. But like so for me, like, I've had a few like experiences with love and heartbreak and things like that, and like I feel like now every love, of course, is different. So sometimes maybe you feel love and you don't know that you're in love, and sometimes you think you're in love and you're really not. But there's been 2 times where I know for sure that I've been in love, and once was with one of my formerly best friend. Like we were like this, like inseparable, and it wasn't always like that. Like, and it started similarly. Like, she didn't give me the time of day. Like, she was a year older than me, so she was in a grade before me. And we just knew each other through mutual friends. And we went to the same school, but I got kicked out. But that's a story for another podcast. Okay. But we'll come back to that. But yeah, so I very much had your mentality of like within the first few weeks, I was like, I love you. You're my girlfriend forever. But I don't know why I have an accent, but
you're brown.
Love does weird things to people.
It does.
Yeah, so I told her, I'm like, I want you to be my girlfriend. Like, we're gonna do this, that, and whatever. And she's very much like, okay. Like,
slow down, Tiger.
Yeah, because like I was in grade 9, like just started grade 9. She's grade 10, but I still at that point I don't know what love means, but so we dated very, very briefly, and then like after I got kicked out of school, like her parents didn't want her talking to me and whatever, so we broke it off, and then from there we just stayed really, really close friends. But I always like had a huge crush on her for like years, for like 8 years. But then like obviously over time things change, and you meet other people, and like you see her and she's happy with other guys, so you either need to come to a point where like you accept it and you're like, I'm happy for her, and move on, or you're just stuck like on one person forever. So I got over it. She got married, and I was like, oh, congratulations. I went to her wedding, everything was fine. But the second time was the one that really got to me, because so I met the second quote unquote love of my life when I was working in retail. So I ran into her at work. She didn't work there at the same place, but she was there for some other reason. But that's just where we ran into each other. And it was funny how we met, because like we just ran into each other, and like I have her name tattooed on my arm, but not for her. Like my sister and her have the same name. So I had the tattoo.
You can play it off.
Exactly. So people, it's funny because people that didn't notice my tattoo at first were always like, oh my God, did you get a tattoo for her? I'm like, no, I'm not an idiot. Like that's like the golden rule. Like you don't do that. But anyways, so that was kind of a cute way for us to meet and stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, you have my name on your arm. Like, let me take a picture and whatever. And then it was like really cute and stuff. And then I was just like kind of chatting her up a bit, like not even being super flirtatious or anything, but like we're just having a great conversation. Then she's like, well, let me give you my card. So it had like her number on it and whatever, and her name. So I gave her a call, and like so I was at the time I had just broken up with someone. Like there was like just a very slight period of crossover where like I knew I wanted to end it with this person because of like other reasons, like nothing that they did. Like they were great, but just like for me it wasn't working out. So there was a little bit of crossover, so I'm just gonna own up to that 100%. But nothing. No, so technically yes. So emotional cheating is still cheating. So yes, there was a little bit, but nothing happened between us until we were completely broken up.
Okay.
So
you were a gentleman about it.
Yeah, and
as much as you can be.
Exactly. Like, and I mean, I could have done things differently, absolutely, but like, I didn't want to start anything of that nature until I was fully separated because I felt, there was something with this person different. So we started talking, we started hanging out, and then like from the time that we started hanging out, things progressed really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, we were really into each other,
right.
And like I met her parents, I met her siblings.
Oh wow.
Her parents loved me, her siblings loved me. Like it was a really nice situation. Like it wasn't a situation that I've been like I've been with girls, but like there's been issues where like maybe their family hasn't liked me, or maybe like their siblings haven't liked me, or like it was never like 100% acceptance. And here I had 100% acceptance.
Yeah.
Like everyone was on board. Everyone was so happy for us. Like it was the one time in my life where I was like, oh man, like everything is like working awesome.
And it's coming up, Chris.
Yeah. And as the story goes, and as things go, when you're on top, the only way you can go is down, right? Yeah. So she had some stuff going on with her. So she had a lot of pressure from work.
Okay.
So she didn't have a lot of time to see me. So things kind of, got tense and stuff over that. And like she knew how I felt about her and how into each other we were. Like she told me that she was starting to fall for me and stuff. And then like it kind of just ended like really abruptly. So that really messed me up. Like at the time, like I was at a very, very low point because like that was like the first real like love, like strong love feeling that I had felt. And like, and don't get me wrong, like I may have loved other people as well and just not known what the feeling was yet. But for whatever reason, this one just felt, different.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't meant to be because, so it was obviously there to teach me some kind of a lesson to kind of maybe see the signs for the future or whatever.
Right.
But like it really opened my eyes, and it made me realize that like what you feel when you're in love and what you feel when you really care about someone is different than what you feel about any average girl. Yeah. So it's really, I think it's really special, and it's really important that you do feel something different, like the way that you did. Like you knew like this is the girl that I want to pursue. Yeah. And no matter how much she blew you off, you were just like, nope. This is it. Yeah. Like, give me a chance. Like, I guarantee. Like, let's bet. Yeah. Bet is on right now. Yeah. So it's a really good feeling, and I hope I get to feel that, of course, at some point in the near future. But like, again, like, congrats to you. Like, baby on the way. You got a wife. Like.
That it wasn't. We had a lot of downs too, though. Like, I mean, sorry if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when?
So this was not too long ago. This was like 2013, 2014. So maybe about 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, with us, we had a lot of. We broke up about 100 times before we actually got married. So, and that is, again, it's persistence. Now, the good thing is that both have to be on the same page now. Sometimes she broke up because she had enough. Yeah. And I would be there to kind of pull her back. Yeah. And then sometimes I broke up because I didn't want to do things a certain way. Yeah. And then she was there to pull me back. So one person needs to be solid. And we grew up together. And the thing is that when you grow up with somebody, it's hard to see them in any other light. Yeah, yeah. Like if I met her a couple years ago, it would be a lot smoother just because I learned so much. But when I was with her in the beginning, I was not into studies. I was into like other activities.
He actually said something else, but we edited it out and put other activities on top of that.
Yeah. So experiencing just being a teenager for the first time, and so you make a lot of mistakes, and then they kind of remember you for it. But the best thing about her was that she watched me grow. Yeah. And I think that kind of gives her an idea. Now she may be wrong, but it gives her an idea that like the trajectory is upward, right? So
it's the potential, right?
It's the potential. You make a mistake once, you learn from it, but how quickly you learn from it and how quickly do you make the same mistake again, that's a great indicator of how much the person is growing. Yeah. So thank God I haven't made the same mistake twice, not yet at least. But there were a lot of times where there was like other people, so other guys who told her not to be with me, then she left me, and I got her back, and then other girls who told me not to be with her, so I left her, and then she got me back. But it's, you need to sometimes it just will not work, and I feel like when you talk to other people about your relationship, now there's some things in a relationship that are strictly a no-no. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's abusive, that kind of thing. Of course. That's hands down whoever you talk to. But if you have just a regular problem or just something, no matter who you talk to, you will never ever show or explain the story in a way that is objective. It'll always be subjective.
I know that firsthand.
If I'm explaining to a story, I'm obviously going to make myself sound like the good guy.
Yeah.
I have a great way with words, so I can really make myself look like a good guy, and the other person not so much.
Because you were a writer, right?
So that's and similarly, if she tells somebody the story, she makes herself sounds even better. Yeah, so
there's a bias. Of course.
There's always a bias. So I think that's the biggest thing is when you tell somebody your problem, you have to be very careful with who you're telling that problem to. So I made the mistake of telling another girl who we were talking, and I didn't realize at that time that we were talking in that sort of manner. Yeah. But she told me to break up right away. And then the minute I did, she's like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh,
so that's what it was.
Wife was right. So shit. So like you have to be careful with who you talk to. Yeah. If you have somebody who's really a confidant and they actually are good in the advice they give you, that's important because that can make or break. I've seen a lot of people break up a relationship because of what other people said. Yeah.
And not to jump in too much, but just a short thing that I've learned over time is that I've heard the term that never take advice from people who are always single. So
yes, that's huge.
So who I tend to go to are my married friends, people who have been in marriages and have been in long-term relationships for long periods of time because they seem to have obviously much better advice than someone you're not going to trust someone who can barely hold down a 3-month relationship. So
and that's a big factor because at that point a lot of her friends were single, a lot of my friends were single. So no matter who you talk to, they're gonna be like, "Oh, leave her, leave him.
There's so many fish in the sea.
Come with me. We're going clubbing. I'll get you one right now." So, and it's very easy to get tempted by certain people because they have a lifestyle that you either, because you've been through so much hardship in a relationship, you talk to a single person, they're like, "Oh, my life is great.
Yeah,
I'm out, you know what I mean?" And you're like, "Oh, geez, I want that." You know what I mean? Yeah. So similarly, if you're single, you talk to somebody who's committed, they're like, "Oh, sorry, can't come out today. I got plans." You know what I mean? And you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, but then you don't realize that the plans that they have when you have it with someone you love are so much better than the plans that you're out in the club or doing whatever.
Yeah, and you need to always focus on the big picture. So something that may grind you, and you need to know that it's not. You can work with that person. Like you can work with that person to explain to them over time what you think, and why you feel a certain way, and then you give them enough time to come to terms with it and let go of their bad habits. Yeah. Which I think my wife was very patient with me.
So necessarily so. I'm sure.
Her patient with me more than the other way around because if you make a decision on the spot, just based on as is, you're like, okay, you know what? You have all the reason to leave. You have no reason to stay. Yeah. If you kind of weigh things out a little bit and you're like, is it worth me sticking around? Sometimes the answer will be no, and you got to follow that as much as it may hurt. But sometimes the answer is yes, you just got to be patient and strong through it. So, not necessarily put up with the shit just for the sake of being in a relationship.
Of course.
But knowing which battle to fight and having faith in the person that they will change.
And that's the thing is that you need to see at least some growth. Like even if you're making the same mistakes, you're making the same mistakes differently. At least you can see that the effort is there, like the attempt is there. And of course, like you mentioned, like certain situations are not excusable, like abusive behavior. It's not tolerable. Like just get out. But it's man, love is tough these days.
It is, and a lot of people will feel the need to be in a relationship because they just want to be in a relationship and
don't want to be alone.
Yeah, and that's something that I've seen people be in a relationship because they love each other. Yeah, and that's a different kind of feeling than somebody putting up with the other person's stuff because they just need somebody. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's basically how a lot of these relationships I've seen work, and they don't work out at the end, and you know that that's the direction they're going because they're just replacing the empty void with literally anybody. Yeah. And a lot of people just go for the first one that kind of gave him that kind of attention, or you know what I mean, like. So. And
you know what, like, as wrong as that is, like you can kind of understand in a way because like
being lonely,
it's not fun. No. It's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
But it's worse to be with someone that you are wasting, you're wasting your time with. You're wasting your time, you're wasting their time.
Yeah.
They could be with someone better, you could be with someone better.
Yeah. If they provide you with that one good thing, you're willing to overlook everything bad.
Yeah.
Right? And that's very easy to do.
And it could be anything. Like it could just be like, they cook really well.
Yeah.
Or it could be sex.
Or you can just talk to them at night.
Talking, like great conversation.
Yeah.
I've been with girls who like, I hit it off like this. The conversation is fantastic, but we don't connect on any other level.
Yeah.
But...
And I knew a couple of my friends were going through a tough time with their families and, financial difficulties, and that person was just there. And for that reason, that problem was over.
Yeah.
And whatever that came after, they just weren't willing to overlook the fact that they were there for that one instance. And you can't really talk people out of that. You can't really, they have to learn for themselves. And sometimes some people do, some people don't. And that's just how it is. Like, love is something that will... not necessarily blind you, but it can really overpower other emotions. So,
big time.
And easily for us too. I mean, we make it work now, but there might have been some instances where the feeling of love overcame the feeling of anger or the feeling of whatever signs that you may pick up. But you just got to know who's worth it, really. And you won't know that. So good luck. There's absolutely no advice to be given.
So you're fucked.
Yeah, basically. No, take a shot in the dark. See where it lands.
But I feel that's very true. It's like it is difficult, and love can overpower all of your other senses.
Yeah. And once you get into a relationship 100%, and the other person's in it 100% as well, you can't get bored.
Yeah,
that's one thing I feel like is very people just get bored of relationships now because it's the same stuff. Like
7-year stretch.
That's it. But it's so easy. Like, obviously, as a couple, you guys fall into a routine. Like, me and my wife are huge into movies. We watch a lot of movies together. And that's kind of what we do sometimes. So, you know what I mean? Like, you may have the same activity that you guys both connect on. For some people who like routine, it's great. But those people who like a little bit different, don't be afraid to just say it.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, I'm bored, I'm moving on, screw you. You know what I mean? Like, just be like, hey, listen, I want to give you a chance, right? I'm getting bored of whatever we're doing, so let's do something different.
Yeah.
And kind of talk to the person, really talk to them. Don't just drop an ultimatum that like, okay, we're done.
And that's what I believe too, is that I don't believe when like people are just like, I just woke up one day and I didn't want to be with them. Like, everyone's going to go through that. Everyone's going to go through those parts
have
where
those
you're
days.
bored, where the
or
spark
you're
is gone.
or,
Anything.
Yep.
But like, just do something, try something else first. Do something different. And if you've tried a bunch of stuff and you still feel the same way, then that's different. But you've tried. You can't just be like, no,
you have to try.
No, I'm out. Like,
and like before the wedding, me and the wife woke up every day and be like, shit, we don't want to get married. Like, we had that all the time.
But that's a universe. I feel like that's like, cold feet is like a huge, like, it's universal. Everybody feels it. Everybody's.
And then you both need to mutually agree that there should be a place in your head or an idea in your head that you kind of go to. Yeah. So like right now, the idea of giving birth is freaking my wife out which makes sense. Yeah. If a man had to push anything, we would just instantly die. Like, instant
just the
death.
Thought of it is cringeworthy enough. We don't. My stomach hurts when I think about pushing anything out of anywhere.
We don't reproduce. We just kill ourselves and have another kid take our place. Like, as men, we can't do it. But so honestly, the idea of it, which makes a lot of sense, but we have a place in our head to go to be like, imagine a year from now when the kid starts talking and she says your name. Like, you know what I mean? And calls you mom. Like,
those milestones.
Which really, I think my wife is just humoring me. She's like, oh yeah, great. I'm still fucking scared.
Yeah, that doesn't fix my problems.
Yeah, exactly. I was still going to push something out like in a month. But, you need, and similarly with relationships, you're going to be like, okay, this is a tough spot, or we're going through a bit of a bad stretch. Yeah. We know, for example, one of you could be unemployed and going through a rough patch, or one of us having difficulty at school. But you need to have this place to go to in your mind, be like, okay, well, I know we're going through a rough patch right now, but the end goal is this. Yeah. Like, can you imagine 5 years from now or 10 years from now, we're going to do this and this? So you need to connect.
And a certain person who we both know, I was talking to them recently, and they recently told me the story behind some difficulties that they had recently gone through, and they were off for a bit. So, I mean, obviously I don't want to get into details because it's not my story to tell, but things can come up in relationships that are so difficult to deal with, and that are like,
there's no advice in the world.
Yeah, like you don't know what to say. Like you can't sympathize with it. You haven't been through it, you know. Like and
imagine.
like, I've had people that I know go through it. Like other people, I've had family members go through it, and it's like, it's tough staying together and staying like on the same page in those kinds of situations, but like I think it's really important to support each other, and like I feel like when you go through the worst of times, that's when you really know like how you feel about someone and how they feel about you.
Yeah.
Because
one of the relationships I had before the wife was one without label. So I really want to address this. A lot of people get into a relationship without like, I hate the label of being a boyfriend or girlfriend or wife, husband, whatever. So they're just like, we're just gonna wing it and see where it goes. Yeah. It goes one of two places. Like, you both will just naturally get bored of each other, fall out, which is great because you don't have a title or anything to go with. But the other thing is one of you will get involved. Yeah. Right. So before I met my wife, I was seeing a girl, and then she was just like, "I just want to play casual." I was like, "Okay, I can do casual." I had no idea what that meant.
I didn't get the contract.
Within a week, in my head, she's my girlfriend, exclusive to me. Yeah. Right. And it's just like, and then, basically 2-3 weeks later, I see her cheating on me, and I get really mad. Yeah. And she's like, "But technically, you don't have a reason to be mad because I wasn't. I'm not. We were just casual. Who told you I was exclusive?" I was like, "Oh shit, who told me you were exclusive?" Right? I told myself. Damn, you're right, and I hate you.
Yeah, you're right, but I hate you.
Yeah, and like I just kind of spiraled out of control because I was like, I wanted to be mad at her, but I really couldn't because it's true. We went in without any expectations at all, and then we were just supposed to be having fun, and now some people can do it. Good for you. I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I have been that person, and the reason why, now other than the obvious reason of like I just want to have a good time, there have been times where the reason why I do it is because I've been hurt recently, or I've gone into things too fast, and I know that I'm not where I need to be as a man and as a person to be in something serious. So I want to let this person know up front that I'm willing to do whatever this is with you, and I'm willing to try everything that I can to be that way, but I know I'm not ready right now. So knowing that you're free to be with someone who knows what they want right now. Like I don't want to hold you here, but like I like you. And I do see a future, but and I know a lot of people say like that's a cop out, that's bullshit, whatever. But like, it is what it is. Like sometimes when and like what else can you say? You have to be completely honest. I'm not ready to be,
and it's not always going to be as straightforward that we're boyfriend girlfriend now. Exactly, that's it. We're in a relationship. And then I'm personally big on like anniversaries and celebrating. Like me and the wife have like 5 anniversaries we celebrate now. When we got engaged, when we started dating, when we got married. It's a lot of money out of my pocket, but
when we first broke up.
That's probably there, although I don't bring that up. But to me, it's important to have a starting point. Like that was one of the biggest difficulties I had when I started a relationship that was just really casual, and it just I didn't know what to leverage as a starting point. And even after she cheated on me, I still couldn't leverage an end point. Yeah. Because technically there was no beginning, so there's no end, right? So
just this amalgamous kind of...
Yeah, and it's like, do I still care? Do I still... You know what I mean? Like, am I still into it? Am I not? I hate her, but I kind of like her. And you're stuck in this, like, ping pong match. And you're just going back and forth. And it depends on you. If you can structure a relationship in that kind of spontaneousness, that's good. Yeah. Be careful because the other person might get attached more than you might predict they will. Yeah.
I think the important thing is if you are going to do that kind of a thing, be honest with each other. Like, let each other know what the expectation is, so that if that expectation doesn't work for them, they can move on. Yeah. But don't give them the appearance that things are a different way than they actually are.
The other thing I would say is don't wait too long. Yeah. I think that is the biggest thing, especially in my younger years. The fear of being rejected is way stronger than the appeal of being together. Yeah. So, I mean, not to say that it would have amounted to anything, but it's just so many people have come and, like, so many girls came and went, and I was just like, I wish I said something. You know what I mean? Like,
regrets.
Yeah, and like, and it's just, it puts you in a bad place because when you go through that, the other person's gone, but you're kind of stuck in your own head. Yeah. And you're stuck in the past, and when you're stuck in the past, you can't really move ahead. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is that if you're gonna do something or you want to do something with someone, do it. Yeah. And if it doesn't turn out well. It kind of gives you closure.
Yeah.
If
you gave it a shot.
Yeah, if you don't take that shot, you won't have closure for yourself, and then
Yeah.
you won't know what the issue is until it's too late.
It's true.
So.
Well, regrets, we all have them. So I feel like that's the topic that we'll start out with next time. We'll talk about some regrets. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we got there, mate.
Right. Get me a manager. I regret this podcast. I'm kidding.
Well, this has been, I guess we'll call this episode 1.5 of the ThinkFast Nerdcast. So for those of us who are listening live, thank you. For those of us who are listening later on, thank you as well.
Yep. Comments, ideas, suggestions, anything we could do different, maybe get a new t-shirt, cut my hair, anything.
Yeah, join our page. It's at ThinkFast Nerdcast on Facebook. I'll probably try creating a Twitter or Instagram or some kind of shit at some point. But my name's Chris.
My name is Syed.
And thank you so much for listening. Have a great night.
Until next time.
All right. Fantastic.